Okay, we'll call the meeting of the Law Enforcement Committee to order. I'll make note that Jason Sanders did reach out to me and said he was tied up and didn't know if he could get here or not. He was kind of in a dirty mess, he didn't want to show up that way. So. Everybody else is present. If you will, bow your heads and I'll pray for us. Our most gracious, kind Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Father, we just thank you for the many blessings in life. Father, we just ask that you go with us and lead us and guide us in every decision and everything we do. And Father, we thank you for your Son, Jesus, and what he did on the cross for us. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. Next would be the approval of the minutes of January 18, 2022, the Law Enforcement Committee.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Animal control.
Hey,
I don't really have anything to add to the numbers. I was thinking that our team is doing good. We did a cruelty case about almost a month ago now. Seen a lot of good things out of our team, seen some things we need to work on. That's to be expected. We do have a couple of, people who are gonna be credentialed DART responders. They've done all their stuff on the computer. The next class will be another, it's a Zoom meeting still, in March. So then they'll be credentialed as well to help out in disasters and, so forth and so on.
Any questions for animal control? Let me make
here,
this.
wait a minute.
You got one?
I came because, I have a little bit different of a situation. I had a neighbor's dog kill like $8,000 worth of sheep. And animal control, I've talked to her several times and she's done really good. But their hands are tied as to what they can do. Is there any way that the county can set a regulation or something that when you're losing livestock, like I can shoot the dogs. I don't have a problem shooting dogs, but I can't shoot the dogs unless they're on me. And when they get back home, I can't do anything about it. Can the county not set a regulation or resolution or make a law or something to come down a little bit harder on that? I mean, if I have cows out, the sheriff department's called, y'all are called, I get a ticket, I gotta go to court. And that's fine. And it's not level, it's not even,
Are the dogs running free?
yeah,
So the problem, and here's where our hands are tied.
yeah, I mean, she's been good. They've done everything they can.
We respond as quick as we can get out there. But if we don't see the dogs off property, I can't under oath say, yes, these dogs were off property. So then it becomes a part of, she can go to the commissioner herself and take out a summons for running at large. And then, of course, if they're
Yeah.
attacking livestock, you do have the right to
Yeah.
protect your livestock, property, children, anything like
Yeah.
that, as long as you shoot to kill.
Yeah,
But when we respond, if the dogs are gone,
Exactly.
and refresh me, what road again?
Foster.
Road. So, this has been a problem. The day I was actually the one that
Yeah.
responded that
Mhm.
day. All the dogs were in the house. I didn't see anything off property. And that's where we're running into the problem at.
Could she put up a trail camera? If she has a trail camera.
I've seen them do it, but
and has
By
the time I
shows it
get
on the
there-
property.
Let me ask you this, have you been to the commissioner to seek us,
I can take
Or-
them civilly.
Yeah.
They're not the type of people that are going to care or pay the bill. They don't work, all that.
but
My-
have you done that?
No, because
Okay.
I just want the dogs gone.
Yeah.
And even if I take them civilly, they can't take the dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
they can be responsible for the damage, but I'm not getting any money out of them, but I just want the dogs gone, because they're already running loose again. They kept them up in the house for a few weeks, but, I mean, I'm losing my livelihood. And I'm held fully responsible if a cow's out or something, I have to go to court and I have to pay for this, but it's not, I mean, it's not their fault, it's not, but they can basically turn their dog out and if I go to their house and shoot the dog, I can get in trouble. So,
It has to be on your property.
yeah,
But if she had trail cameras up and could prove
Prove
that the
evidence.
dogs are coming over there. and
So she can
that
take
to
her evidence,
To the
As a
commissioner.
commissioner.
and then the commissioner then will issue a summons for her and whoever she's, against to appear in court. And then if she has that trail cam and the district attorney sees that, but the problem is, dogs running at large is punishable by fine only. It's a misdemeanor. And there's no cap. I mean, I've taken one person to court 5 times in less than a year. There's no cap on, anything. And I've spoke with the district attorney at length about what can we do? Like, if I bring them to court 3 times, at what point is enough enough?
Yeah, you should be able to take the dogs after so many times.
But then you run into the problem that if these, and how many, there's
there's like
several.
6 in
There's
the
like
dog,
6
in
dogs.
the house,
Okay.
small house.
Lord.
So then if animal control gets these dogs, then there are problems. And then you're talking about more money for spays and neuters, because ultimately it's not the dog's fault. And I don't think that we can just go in and euthanize all these animals, so maybe, somewhere down the line, if we could speak with the district attorney about, them having to take them to their vet, because we don't euthanize for the public either, we don't have a service permit to do that. So it's a very gray area, very gray, but if she does have those trail cams, and she goes to the commissioner, and I believe I even told you I'd go with you
Yeah.
to say, we have responded, this is how many times we've responded, this is what's going on, can we get them into court? If I see them off, I have no problems in taking them to court, I will, but it's only punishable by fine.
And my problem is I got 450 sheep that are on a big area, so I'd have to have a ton of trail cameras out to catch them doing that in that spot. Like, I've seen it, I've talked to the owners, they don't care, I mean, they're just not, and I'm losing everything I've got, and nobody can do anything.
And then even if you go to court, you gotta lose time on the
Yeah.
farm to go to court numerous times, because I'm sure they'll put it
Yeah.
on.
And even if I take them to court, I can get a judgment, but they don't, I just want the dog gone, I mean, that's all I want.
And see, and legally, I can't just go on
Yeah.
to, it'd be like if you call me, and, I can't go onto their property and remove them
I've
from
tried
their
and I can't
property
shoot them.
from.
If
Just
they
have
show
it in
up,
your
I've got
presence.
two small kids, and if they show up in the middle of the night, I'd have to be over 24/7.
Right.
The one time I could've shot him, I didn't have a gun with me, because I was feeding hay on the tractor. I mean, it's easy to say shoot them, and I mean, that's my goal, but it's not that easy to be standing 24/7 over them and waiting on them.
And I sort of had the same issue with my neighbor's dogs chasing my cows, and fortunately,
We were able to locate them.
yeah, they were able
And
just
to
to.
the court, and I'm
Well, they didn't
assuming
even,
stopped.
yeah, well, they didn't even, did you take them to court, or they got rid
Yes.
of 2 of the dogs?
Yeah,
So,
2 of the dogs they rehomed, but the other 3, because they had like 7 dogs.
Yeah, they
the other-
had like a bunch of dogs.
Yeah, and I didn't hear any more about it, they did get taken to court,
Yeah,
because we picked dogs up,
yeah.
so.
But fortunately, that stopped mine, but they also lived in a big, nice house with 7 dogs, so it was different.
Are there any other
But I
counties
understand
that
the
do
frustration.
something different illegally?
So, they might have like an ordinance or something, that would be like an extra fine, we don't have ordinances in our county, we only go off of state laws. However, as animal control is evolving, and it's evolving, there's things that are being passed and being brought to the table, that hopefully by next year they'll be passed, and then we're gonna have to adjust at that point on how we've done things in the past to, upgrade how we do things when those bills or whatever they are due and pass.
I hope they're pretty better.
Yes and no. It's gonna put a lot of work on your animal control, because, they're talking about no dogs on tethers, none. And if that happens, we don't patrol, we're complaint driven, but if that happens, it's gonna take a minute to get the county back. Okay, well, here's a new, law we have to go by. Well, it's gonna take a minute. The same as it took a minute 7 years ago when I started, it took a minute to get this county and you guys remember,
Oh, yeah.
and it was
It's
bad.
bad.
There again, people are getting tired of it, to answer your question, and more people are taking summonses out. They are taking actions into their own hands, you know, we don't run blue lights. I can only get out there as quick as we can, you know? It's tough. It's tough.
I don't have a problem doing it, I'll do it. And I'm almost to the point, and I know the sheriff's department's here, but I would go to the guy's house and shoot the dogs on his front porch. I'm losing I'm not kidding, I'm gonna work the next 3 or 4 years for nothing. And that's 8,000 that I know of and that I can count, that's not lambs. But I'll get in more trouble going to his house and shooting the dog than he
Oh,
will
yeah.
for doing that.
And I would tell you, and I would encourage you to go to the commissioner. I would sue for civil damages, because the more pressure you put on someone, you know, makes them think, look, if this keeps happening, you
I've
know,
had to do that once before, but I know these people well and I know the situation, and when neither of you have a job and you do a lot of drugs and you're in the situation, and I'm not judging anybody for where they live or what, but when I can look at the people, they don't care.
right.
And they're gonna get a judgment, and they're gonna say, okay, we're not gonna pay it, we don't work, you know, I just want the dogs
But
gone.
that may make them think, well, maybe the police are gonna be coming out more, or.
They don't care.
And that's unfortunately something.
And I'm not trying to like talk about anybody, cause I've always got along with them, but I'm losing everything. I get up and go to work every day and I'm losing it, you know, and there's nothing that can be done.
Back to the Cody people, they hunt at night.
Well, I got Tennessee dogs that look similar. I'm the one that knows the difference.
Yeah, they shoot. You know, you would think there would be, I don't know, I mean.
That's what I'm asking is, can something, and I know that she's gotta go by state law. Can the county not do something or anything?
I'm in First County passing any kind of ordinance or something like that, I don't know that it would be any more effective than a fine.
Right.
So I don't know that you gain anything
Yeah.
from that. I agree with exactly what Joseph said, I think your best bet is to go see the commissioner. You witnessed it happen yourself, you've got proof of it happening. And at least get them in general sessions court and start that process anyway, because at least then you do have a trail that,
Yeah.
you know, this has been happening. I'm sure that the judge at some point could order the dog to be removed. I
That's
don't
my
know at what
thing.
point that happens,
Yeah.
so I'm not the judge, but,
Yeah.
but if you never take it to that point, then that's not gonna happen. So I would still do that, and I don't know if they can order some restitution.
I mean, yeah, I can get restitution, I've been in that position, but my thing is I want the dogs gone.
I think what Nakia's saying is that as long as, if you keep continuing to grind, at some point, the judge is gonna get tired at some point, and he's gonna, you know. hey,
And that's
look,
the aggravating thing is that I'm not doing anything wrong, and I'm gonna be forced to shoot somebody's dog and go through all this, when, you know, when there should be a law or something, or somebody should say, hey, this isn't right, you know, get rid of the dogs or do this. That's my thing. Is it still all falling back on me to do it?
And she can, I mean, there is a law against them running at large,
Right, but I have to,
but she's
Yeah.
got.
But it has to be
And,
her
and on
Yeah,
Sunday, I've got 2-year-old twins, I had them with me, and I saw the dogs gone, I called the sheriff's department. Well, y'all are on the other side of the county, and you don't have enough people, so by the time you do get there, you know, it's the same thing that you deal with, so.
it takes us a good 25, 30 minutes, and that's hitting enough traffic to get
Yeah.
to where she's at. I mean, she's on the borderline of Rutherford.
Would it help, like, if she took a video with her phone right then? and
I
then
can't
there?
use that.
You can't do
No,
that.
ma'am. I can't use that.
If you could use trail cam.
I can't use trail cam. She can.
She can use, but she could use phone or trail.
It's
The
back
only
to a
time-
civil matter. She's
Yeah,
got
that's-
to
that's my
exhaust the
thing.
civil.
I can do all
remedies.
this civilly,
Yeah.
but I wish there was a way I could go to animal control and say, hey, I saw this and this, and I can't shoot the dog, and that they can step in and say, hey, we can, you know,
The only way she can do that is if it happens in her presence.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, is
Yeah.
there not like an ordinance or a law or anything that can
The
be?
only thing we're doing right now is state law.
Pat Marsh, Shane Reeves,
Yeah.
those are the people to ask them, but you're going to have to figure out what you want it to say. You know,
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be on the bottom of the list of things they have to do. That's why I started with county.
But the
you know.
best advice we can give you right now is civil, that's.
Did we not a while back, like, didn't we have some animal control ordinances that we passed? It was a little bit stronger.
They were never passed. They're not punishable by any fine. Into that at length. These were, it was a list of, what Bedford County, considers a doghouse, what
Yeah.
length the tether should be, but they were never passed in front of anything, and they hold no,
Even with
yeah,
the
So we
judicial
didn't-
system, they didn't hold no merit.
We didn't pass it on the county commission.
No, because they didn't hold any, on the law side,
Weren't
they didn't
enforced.
have no merit. They wasn't
Right.
we don't make laws, we just
No.
pass resolutions, we can't make a law.
right. And that's what, cause I can't remember who said that, they had come to me with that, before, and so then we found the paper, in stacks of old paper, but they're not punishable by anything. We can't
There's no law
even
to go
say
with
like,
that.
yeah, like at this point, we can't even say in accordance with Bedford County because there's nothing there to bite on. I don't know. That's where we're at with it.
There's no TCA code to back
Right.
those things that we say up, and so the DA's not gonna prosecute.
Right.
Based on what we think is right or wrong,
But there's a monetary loss, I mean.
That's civil though.
So,
Right,
You
she
can't
has a
mix up-
civil remedy.
Everything
She has
is
a
about
civil
civil.
remedy, she just
And
hasn't gone that route yet.
It's a tort. There's a wrongdoing has occurred and an injury has happened and monetary damages should be established, but we can't make a law
right.
unless the legislature does, because we're totally subservient with the legislature. We pass resolutions, we can make an ordinance out there, but if we break the law, then the ordinance gets thrown
Right.
out. So her
And the
dilemma
ordinance
is,
is
she
what-
just wants the dogs off her property, unless she shoots them in a presence or with a trail cam, then the owner can come back and sue her under law, and she has no protection under law for her own
Right.
property out there.
Yes, and I understand, it's difficult, I get it, and if I ever respond, if she calls me and I'll get out there, I have no problems taking the court. I have no problems, even if they're on my property, removing the animals,
Is there a
however,
way,
they can come and reclaim them. It's
Yeah.
illegal for me to hold their animals.
All right, let me just say this about animal control. I had a lady and her husband called me complaining about a wild animal in their house. I called Josie and she sent some people out there and took care of it. And they said that they were wonderful. The person that responded was great.
Is that good for children too?
And it's not in their normal thing to do, wild animals, but,
Wow.
they did take care of it and they, I think they're very appreciative.
Well, we were just glad we could help.
and I do wanna say, you've been great with me, but I mean, her hands are tied, so.
All right, next will be the sheriff's department report.
I think you guys have your report, so, if you got any questions, I can answer.
Do you have DTF report?
I do not.
Okay. And, is there any questions for the sheriff's department?
Are y'all working in that?
We do have some inmates going out, I'm not sure how many we have as of today, changes day to day,
But as the weather gets warmer, maybe,
hopefully.
Yeah, the litter is horrible.
we need them there.
Yeah, we've been, which I know we talked about this before, but, as long as we're, still going through the quarantine processes that we're going through, it's really hurt things because most of the inmates that we have that go out are shorter sentences. But by the time they fulfill their quarantine, their sentence is not very long at all. So they normally don't have time to get out and do the work, so.
That should ease up pretty soon.
And let me, make an announcement here. I just want your department to know that we are very appreciative of Cam's actions. Saved the lives of students and of the child that was apprehended in this
Yeah.
mess. I mean, it could have been tragic for all involved, and what Cam did was great. I'm glad he was there and followed his gut feeling and
Also, the child that had enough
Absolutely,
yeah.
to come
Yes,
and
to come
report it.
yes.
all-
We
all
don't
involved.
want to get that child.
All
I
of
think,
even, like I
The
say,
sheriff is actually gonna have a meeting with that child.
Good.
just to
Good,
Show our gratitude for that.
correct.
And I'm glad you said that, because, you know, today, really the first time is National SRO Appreciation Day.
Yes.
So if anybody sees an SRO, pat them on the back. Because
did.
Cam did a great job,
pat yourself on the back.
but, you know, they do that every day in every school,
Yeah.
so we really are appreciative of it.
Because don't you think our new association in the schools are helping reporting maybe? You know,
I
like,
think it helps just because, you know, for, you know, all the children that are in the school system, that's really their first contact in life with law enforcement. Just
Correct.
to get
Correct.
that, to be comfortable being around them, be able to feel like they can go to them and talk to them. I mean, that affects us day to day too,
Correct.
because they see me wearing the same uniform and they're more likely to come to me, just based on their relationship. So, yeah, absolutely.
You know how it is with law enforcement, I don't have to tell you, but, you know, I used to help y'all quite often. The parents would always say, if you don't act right, I'm gonna
oh,
hand
yeah.
you to him, deputy right there, you know, and so the child automatically gets
Yes.
defensive
I
now,
never let my
period
children
through life,
come.
and
Had to be
like I say,
always
maybe you're
friendly.
changing that stigma by
Yeah.
having them in that school, you know, that they are the same as you and me, you know.
Yeah, you know, recently there've been some talk about, in some, like, not here, but in some bigger cities about pulling SROs out of schools.
Oh, wow.
And that's already backfired in a lot of those areas, so they're,
Well, like I said, I just wanted to, me and Cam and y'all's department, for what you do, and he may not be the first one, it's just the first one that I know that this hit
Yeah.
used media like it has, and probably been others that have avoided other situations, maybe not this severe, or maybe more severe.
well, they do, and we deal with we deal with potential threats all the time. It's like anything else, you know, most of the time they're false alarms, and it's easy to get comfortable with that. But they never do, they take every single one of them, like they're serious, because they are serious until proven otherwise. And I think that's what, you know, led to the outcome that we had, so.
Well, you sure pass that on to Cam, with his commission,
I'll do it.
and all, it's very appreciative of what he's done, and the other officers as well. I mean, it's a team effort, it's all.
Absolutely.
Any, other questions for law enforcement? Next would be the EMA report.
I don't have anything to add in the report. The only thing that I'll say something about is at the end of the last month, we had some training that we put on to further our search and rescue efforts. I talked about it before, putting a team together. When I first came aboard, we had a couple of incidents with children that came up missing. So I'd like to thank the sheriff's department and county fire, city fire was there also. Had some representation there, and Moore County EMA had some representation there, so we are on our way to building that team up a little better, so I just wanted to put a shout out to them.
Any further questions for him?
I've already complimented the new vehicles on the road. Nice.
Let's talk about the logos.
The logos.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Looks nice on the road.
We were talking about, I'll confess, we were talking about, she was talking about the new logos, and I was trying to explain to Nakia what it was. I'm like, yeah, it's the eagle, and we were standing there talking, I looked down and said, oh, it's right here.
Right there, yeah.
So,
But the
it was
vehicles
on
on
me
the
all the
road.
time, I didn't realize it, so, yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
saw it today. Good job.
Next would be juvenile.
Just the minor.
Any questions for Juvenile? Thank you.
I would like to say one thing. Julie and, Commissioner Sanders and I have requested a lot of information, and she's done a great job of putting that together, and we're hoping very soon we'll be able to present that in a few months, but we have added it to her, so she is.
She's done a lot of work.
She's done a lot of work the last month.
We stretched her out a little bit.
Thank you. That's why to prepare that.
Yeah. And yeah, the comptroller said, I've got a list of all the detention centers all over the state.
That's not to do with juvenile.
Kelly, did you ever get an answer on Maury County and
Murray County's a no, they are now
if
privatized.
they won't take anybody? What about Rutherford County?
I don't know about Rutherford County, they've been in a lot of trouble recently, so it's changing, everything is changing.
But it will show you
To this person.
the distance.
Yeah, we've been following
Who's,
up.
what,
Have you-
what
have you got that?
is this going to answer? That's started, yeah.
Probation?
I don't have anything to add, to the report, yeah. If you have any questions?
Any questions for probation? Hearing none, then we need a motion to approve the reports as presented.
Make that motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any old business to come before the committee? New business? Any announcements? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
Absolutely.